Good afternoon, and thanks for coming along and showing some interest in our topics. Yeah, that's right. My name's Derek Tiller and I'm a 2015 Nuffield Scholar. And my research topic, as just been said, is family farm business decisions. First of all, thanks to you to Nufarm for your investment in my scholarship, and also to Nuffield for the experience I've been able to provide. It's really a unique opportunity, and the extensive Nuffield network continues to amaze me. Along with my brother Clinton and I, we manage Pinery Grain Growers. We're a family farm located on the Adelaide Plains here in South Australia, and my parents John and Christine are also actively involved in the business. We crop 3,600 hectares of wheat, malt, barley and lentils, and this is me with my family, my wife Karen, Thomas, Sophie and Fergus. So what's the problem with the family farm business decision making process? Too many family farms work with an informal decision-making process that's not adequate for a large or diverse business. They lack a common vision of the business and can often part ways in an attempt to achieve what's right for themselves. When facing change, challenges or looking to diversify, it's possible that skills, knowledge and experience to make some decisions may not exist in the family unit. This can also mean that opportunities are passed up due to the farmer's lack of confidence in their own abilities. During a meeting in Canada with Andrew DeRook of Right Choice Management Consulting, he referred to generational decline when he said wealth does not pass 3 generations. After a bit of research, I found that this was an old Chinese expression that suggests the first generation creates the wealth, the second preserves it, and the third generation is responsible for the destruction of the wealth as they lose sight of the values that were once important to the previous 2 generations. This may not always be true, but it does reflect a problem with building wealth in a family business. By adopting a more inclusive process of making decisions, family farms will be better equipped to protect the family assets and minimise the risks of personal and business failure. The alternative to this is discontent between the people within the business, which can result in the division of a family farm. This could be a viable option for some, but it has a consequence of reduced scale. So as you've touched on 25th of November 2015, my family farm, community and region were exposed to a catastrophic fire event. It was known widely as the Piney Fire. The fire was on an enormous scale with a perimeter of over 200 kilometres and an area burnt of 85,000 hectares. It included the loss of 87 homes, countless items of farm machinery, livestock, burns victims and 2 lives. Family farms are exposed to a high level of risk, which I've summarised here in production, markets, financial, institutional and human, and the Piney Fire ticked all those boxes. The relevance of the fire to my topic is the significant strain this event has put on our family business and how we went about making decisions in these circumstances. This quote, "First time you're a victim, second time you're a volunteer," came from Reg Chandra of Ag Pharmacists Advisory Service in Canada. And it's really stuck in my mind since the fire. I wouldn't recommend it, but a fire is a really good way to stress test your business. So we learn from this event and allow the experience to motivate us for change in preparation for another event, whether it's a positive opportunity or a risk to us and our business. Apart from good management, just good management decisions, this is my interpretation of desired outcomes that the families were looking for in making improvements in their decision making. Sustainability in environmental, financial and generational continuity, resilience in managing adversity, responsiveness, the ability to capitalise on an opportunity. And responsiveness is a really important one. It can easily be forgotten because it's not all about risk management. Opportunities do come along and it's important that your business is prepared so it can react accordingly. After visiting dozens of farms and organisations during the 16 weeks of overseas travel, I created this Venn diagram, and I found it the best way to summarise what I've learnt. It has given me better understanding of my research topic and what is required for my business and other family farms to stay competitive and viable in a global market. It illustrates the components that need to be considered and developed in order to improve the decision-making process and to lead to actions that achieve the desired outcomes previously spoken about. So macro-manage the business better, make plans and create common goals. This is what unites the family and will achieve the best for everyone involved. Formalise the decision-making process and involve experienced others in that process. Resource. The people and service providers are a major resource in any business. The opportunity to source skills from across the globe, even on a short-term project basis, is more possible now than ever. With the use of the three main focus categories, I found it possible to self-assess our own business and identify areas that require improvement. And I'll talk about these three components today. So an example of better macro management is this Dairy New Zealand Quick Plan. Thank you to Sharon at the back for making me aware of this. This is aimed at farmers to assist with the development of a strategic plan for their life and their business. A program like this will give all involved in a family farm business a greater understanding of themselves and each other. There is a lot to consider here on a personal level that will affect the way you run the farm business as a combined group of individuals. It's important to find the right balance here between the personal goals and what's right for the business long term and what will drive it in the right direction. At a Piney Fire recovery workshop, Dennis Hoiberg, who we heard from this morning, said over-positive goals can cause failure. Ambitious goal setting can be useful in driving a business forward, as long as those involved know and are comfortable with the risks that are involved in that. Balancing risk and reward could be the key to setting goals and creating a business plan that suits everyone in the family farm business. There's plenty for a family business to gain from the more formalised structures and responsibilities, performance evaluation and documentation of policies and procedures. I was constantly advised that forming a board, panel, committee or similar was the best way to achieve good outcomes from key decision making. To those who have worked with the board, it was pretty simple. They appeared very confident and content that as a result of having a board make key strategic decisions, that their business was in a much better position. To varying degrees, they'd adopted a corporate type structure. The people on these boards, panels and committees were able to contribute additional experience and knowledge and also add accountability to the individual's roles and responsibilities. The Morrison family farm consists of second cousins, John and Graham, along with John's two sons, Richard and William. Oh, thanks. Good dry. They run a sheep and cattle property in New Zealand. To formalise their roles and responsibilities, they've aligned themselves each with a production requirement. In addition, they've aligned a target in the form of a key performance indicator, adding a greater level of accountability to each other's roles. It's simple and it's effective. They meet once a week to discuss these and meet quarterly as an advisory board to evaluate the whole farm performance. The possibility that a visionary could exist within the family farm business is something few would have considered. Too often they are dismissed as outspoken dreamers or similar. The concept of the visionary came to my attention while reading Gino Wickman's book Traction that I'd been given on my travels through the US. What was of concern was how the presence of a visionary in a family farm business structure could work, where the visionary's ability is going to be diluted and their dreams become less achievable. This is a concept that can allow very different people to apply their abilities to a common cause without stifling their unique abilities, as Gino Wickman would put it. The visionary holds a position that oversees the direction of the business. The visionary is typically the owner, co-owner or the founder. And the integrator's position is very much the role of a general manager whose responsibility is for the daily running of the business, accountability and the major functions, and also to carry out the vision that's set by the visionary. The third component is resource. We continually attend field days and workshops to improve our knowledge on crop agronomy. What we should also be looking at is training opportunities to help us improve the business management skills. In the interim, it is advised that we fill those managerial skills gaps that exist with good advisories and services. These are some of the examples of those service providers that I met with in Canada, US and New Zealand. I also spent time with farmers who were utilising these services, and it was clear they had a solid plan, a clear vision for their farm, and appeared to be content working together. Dr. Peter Nathal is a research fellow at the Lincoln University, Christchurch, New Zealand. He carries out research into decision psychology and managerial abilities specific to farmers. He found that farmers believe that the following are important skills for farm managers. And I think you'll agree it would look pretty good on anyone's resume. Much of his research looks into how farmers can obtain these abilities so that they can be the skilled managers that's required in today's agricultural industry. Dr. Nathal found that to improve these skills by way of computerised or automated decision support services would be very difficult due to the family manager's reliance on experience and intuition. The use then of training services is his preferred avenue in developing these skills, and that the intuition will soon follow as a result of the extension of the farmer's experience. He makes observations on the importance of colleagues and other farmers along with their parents and childhood experience in developing good intuition knowledge. I'm not sure this is what he had in mind. This might be a negative experience. This early involvement in the family business may be the experience that is required to develop some of these important instincts. This young lad might not have sheep when he's older. It's commonplace for the farm office to be centred around a kitchen table. The Shaw family in Canada have decided to break with tradition and relocate the farm office away from the house. Their reasons for this was to make the office space more accessible to the growing family workforce and make it more convenient to hold management meetings without the interruption of their personal life. This is something that we've adopted on our family farm for the same reasons, and I think it would be difficult to implement some of what I've spoken about without this convenient workspace. So where to now? We need to self-assess, identify the strengths and weaknesses, understand what options we have, and make changes where necessary. On our farm, we're not necessarily bad at any of these components. It's more about the refinement, including documenting a business plan instead of verbally agreeing to one over a cup of coffee, and appointing an advisory panel or similar to assist with key decision making. While the Piney Fire was a motivator for change, we had put some effort into this part of our business already, and it's a good thing we had done that, because it made a big difference to the way we managed our recovery. We were able to prioritise our recovery efforts based on what we knew was important for everyone, and we understood the importance of gaining advice and experienced people from outside the business. So in conclusion, making important decisions by utilising every possible resource at your disposal makes perfect sense. At the very least, it makes more sense than being negligent in the decision-making process. Choosing what's right for your farm business is first a matter of knowing what options you have and identifying the deficiencies that exist in your business. Importantly, it's the actions that follow that make the change. So hopefully, this means that you'll get off the fence and maybe even on the same side as the rest of the family. Thank you.